lay the just the groundwork for this, like the habit, like, you know, just kind of like creating the habit and the general feeling of training like this, and like kind of like yesterday morning I did you know, my trap bar deadlifts, and just took it nice and easy, you know, and was training Lauren, and so I work with her on her squatting, and then in between I was just hitting trap bar deadlift, and I, you know, accumulated a whole bunch. And then later on at night, I went to like our apartment gym, and I hit the cable fly, and I hit the seated row, and I hit the like a chest supported lateral raise, so kind of like a rear raise, and I hit some curls variations, and I hit some like overhead extension kind of variations, and I just kind of crushed. You know, a mid back and upper back, a bicep, a tricep, and like an outer chest. Yeah. And that was my day, and just creating that habit of doing something that's, you know, my strength performance based in the morning, and then doing something bodybuilding at night, and it felt really good today. That's awesome. So I think that's like what I want to continue forward, and then obviously working in the athletic performance sphere throughout the day, being able to do my drills. You know, my A skips, my high knee, like whatever, like my bounding, basically be able to do all those things and master my 5-10-5 and all those things I need to teach. So it's kind of like I'll cover those things throughout the day, but in the morning as I get healthier and my knees come around and my back gets to bear more weight, I want to get kind of back into like a squatting, pulling, like doing a muscle up, like back in, so each, like kind of hitting one of each, like each morning, like, all right, you know, I'm going to do some part of a muscle up, whether it's a pull up, a dip, or a full muscle up. I'm going to do, you know, a squat every day. Some, like, whether it be a box squat, or a, you know, barbell squat or a front squat, whatever it is. It's kind of like mixing those in and make sure I'm squatting, and then, make sure I'm doing some pulls, whether it's snatch grip or clean grip. And I kind of want to hit all that in, you know, in an hour, you know, maybe an hour 15 probably, because it'll be in the morning and you want to warm up, and I'll probably warm up with like some get-ups, some Turkish get-ups, and some swings, like, and those. So kind of like do that in the morning for an hour 15, and then in under an hour, kind of 60, you know, 45 to 60 minutes at my bodybuilding at night. And I think that's my new, like, sort of health plan for my 30s.
I like that. I think it's cool. I think in the previous podcast we alluded to honoring where you were at, you know, and I think it's great that you can honor where you are at right now. You can acknowledge, you know, where you need to be and what feels good for you, what's going to be best for your everyday life. I think that's really important. And I think even I was perusing through the YouTubes, and I was listening to a few people on there, and some of them were previous strongmen or ex strongmen or ex Olympic lifters, and it seems like a lot of their routines are bodybuilding, because, you know, with all that heavy lifting, their bodies have taken abuse, you know, use and abuse. I mean, you could take use and abuse in bodybuilding too, don't get me wrong, like the high volume could tear you the crap up, but I think that ability to, like, just slow down and focus and contract and engage and breathe, I think it really, like, helps. It really helps. It makes it meditative. I think it's less stress if you don't do a bunch and shit ton of volume, but I think it's a great idea. I'm actually finding a lot of value in it myself. I think I don't realize how much I'm lifting and demonstrating every time. Yeah. Like, all right, this is how you're supposed to do a deadlift. So this is how you're supposed to do a squat. This is front squat. I'm just God, I don't realize. And then sometimes with the guys, like, they may have some weight on the bar, and I don't feel like taking the weight off, so I can, like, warm up first. So I have to, like, just get in there, take a deep breath, and just hope for the best and go for it, you know? I do my best to warm up before classes, but at the same time, it's just like, you don't know what's going to come. And you have to be high energy. You have to be there because that's what they're paying for. Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you're there for them. I mean, they're kind of getting trounced the rest of their day, and, like, they're there to be with you, and you have to be on point. It's a tough it's a tough life. It's a tough career, and it also takes an abuse on your body, because also, let's say you're kind of working on something with one athlete, right? And so you tend to be maybe overloading that movement.
That's true.
Like, maybe your training is asymmetric because you've been doing deadlift and vertical jumping with, one athlete, and like you're doing so much of it, and like maybe you haven't touched a squat in forever in days, and so that's not awesome. So yeah, I'm finding that too, just with even the sprint drills and and speed stuff, and that and lifting and all of it, and I kind of found some value in being like, I picked up a kettlebell the other day. It was like, I did like a figure eight. I was like passing it between my legs and doing some halos, and I was like, I'm doing something different than demonstrating A skips all day, and I definitely agree, and I think that the bodybuilding has become, in a way, it's just so much fun because in all honesty, is how many of us have started in this because of it. How many people have watched Pumping Iron? If you haven't, please go watch Pumping Iron, and just that desire to look better, feel better, and I think it's unfortunate that the word bodybuilding has become kind of a dirty word in the wellness community and actually in the athlete community. But at its core, isn't the word building a body, like building a better body? And are you not trying to not just like build a better body, but build a better life? So why has bodybuilding become such a dirty word when you can just, in a really simple way, like we spend our days helping people do things better, right? I spend my entire day helping people deadlift better, or like use their body better, or like, what do I say? Like, more isn't better, better is better. So like, you're spending your entire time making someone's mechanics or technique or, nervous system fire like a little better. Like it's all about like, I'm helping everybody do things better.
Right.
And every now and then there's this kind of nice sense that you can just send, like one of my athletes was saying to me like, I was gonna go to Gold's after, like later tonight and hit some like chest and tries, and I was like, there ain't nothing wrong with some bodybuilding, nothing wrong with it. Like I was working with him on oh god, I don't even remember. I think we were doing like I think we were doing jumping. So we were working on jumping, and then we were working on some like lateral power, and then we were working on kind of some upper back strength, and we did do a whole bunch of like explosive push-up variations and all this other stuff. So I told him, I was like, just focus on some more dumbbell stuff tonight because you've kind of already hit a lot of that. Like, if you're going to do the barbell, let's go with like a 20-degree incline, and just kind of giving him some direction. I said, but look, go for it. We've already done, and technique not being the issue for bench because I've already worked with him on his technique. So, but I just have him at his age, at 16, limit a lot of his bodybuilding from barbell. Yeah. Like, let him go to town on a dumbbell. Like, is there a better way to curl? Yeah. I mean, we can get into that argument all the time, but like, he's not going to get hurt curling. He's too strong, and he's going to play rugby, and it's not a big deal. So it's like, yeah, dude, go hit your triceps, go hit your chest. Stay away from the barbells, and let's work on that for performance reasons. Yeah. So like, we use the barbell in our training for performance reasons, for strength reasons, for explosive reasons, taking him toward Olympic lifting because like they're going to be asked to do that in school, and getting his entire athletic profile to come up. But I could totally, if he wants to put in that work, let's do it.
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with it at all. I think it's a great tool. And then, like you were saying, it has gotten a bad rep in the wellness community. I think part of it, too, is because they're perceiving it as, you're doing a bunch of aesthetic work and it's not functional. Quote unquote, it's not functional. And so because that word is being thrown around so freely, what's function, what's form, what's function, what's aesthetics, they're making these big like boxes, and they put bodybuilding in one box. They've put like quote unquote functional training in one box, and strength training in a different box, and conditioning in a different box. When in reality, they're all kind of interrelated in a lot of ways, and they all support each other, and they're all like a feedback loop back and forth. So yeah, I think. I've seen bodybuilders come into my gym, and they'll come in having shoulder impingements and problems, mainly because they've overtrained a particular movement. And then I'll tell people about that story, like, oh yeah, that's why bodybuilding is bad. I'm like, no, it's not bad. It's just, they've just missing a piece. That's all.
And like just because they're missing something, they're coming to you to fill in the gap of what they're missing. So many other people are missing bodybuilding. Like if that's the thing, if that's the thing that you're missing, like I sort of look at it as like, your body profile of like how strong and how well and how fit or athletic, however would you want to put it, but like that's a road, and basically on that road there are going to be potholes. And are you better serviced to become a better athlete by paving a second and third layers on that road, or are you better served by filling the potholes first? And like if you go through and you fill those potholes and then you lay a sealer over it and then you put a layer of pavement over all of it, and then you can start to build layers on layers. And the thing is that like I'm not going to make that road substantially better by paving areas that are already paved. Like it's still going to be a shitty road with high rises and potholes, and I'm still going to crack an axle because I haven't filled the potholes. And I think that too many kids have this particular pothole that they're, or too many people, I should actually say, because there are a ton of adults who just are lacking muscle that could benefit from filling that pothole. And it's like, let's move better. I mean, at the core, isn't that everything, but isn't a part of moving better filling your potholes. And if your potholes are you're missing some simple isolated strength, like that's huge. And I think because I've been confined to this, it's really I mean it's all about your vision, right? Like it's all about like how do you see and perceive your situation. And I've been able to look at my training being confined to that as like I've seen a better scope through it and been able to bring it back to my athletes training. And I have a very a kind of unathletic 12-year-old kid, and he's really like, we took the last 15 minutes of our session and we broed out, and like I had fun with him, and we chased the pump, and like awesome. And he had a lot of fun. And here's the thing is, his arms are so weak that holding a push-up plank is not realistic. Like, I can get him to brace his abs on the ground. I can get him to squeeze his butt in a glute bridge, but his arms are so flimsy that, hey, let's bro out and let's get your arms stronger. Let's carry some farmer's walks let's do some bis, tries, shoulders, and finish with farmer's walks. And in a couple of weeks, you'll hold a push-up plank.
And it's a good confidence builder for him too, I'm sure. Like, oh, I can do this. Like, versus doing something like, oh, I suck at this. I'm not athletic enough. Well, you could do this
right now.
And then you can feel better.
Yeah, and he does feel better. And I got to play with him and say, because one of our other trainers was a bodybuilder and is actually like a top 3 every year on like Austin's Fittest, Judd Leinhart, and he's jacked. I mean, he's like, 230 and runs like a 4.45.
That's good. Like
40-yard dash, like scary dude. Used to play football, then was a bodybuilder, and now trains with us. But I was saying to this kid, I was like, today we're gonna try and get bigger than Judd. And he loved it, and he had a good time. So I just thought I would kind of talk about bodybuilding because I think we should be doing more of it. I know that's going to be weird coming from the athletic performance guy and the moving better and muscle activation and position biomechanic nerd, but shit, let's.
Yeah. You know what too? The whole.
Get some hamstring curls, for God's sake.
Yeah. When you were talking about, people like to do things that they're good at. Like hedonism is like at the top level for human beings. Like it is our priority to feel good all the time, and it's such a reward to be like, oh, I'm good at this, I want to keep doing shit that I'm good at. And so we keep doing the stuff that we're good at, and you feel it. But what's funny is when people do a bodybuilding move, like say they're doing like a prone row or doing a lateral fly or they're doing something else, they're like, man, I'm so weak at this. Like, I dread it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do farmer's walks. I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do it. And I've noticed that. But it's like you were saying, filling the potholes, it's like taking that weakest link and just facing it head on. Like, yeah, this is my weakest link, but I'm going to make it my strongest.
Yeah.
And then it's the